All right, so this is part 5 of annotating poetry. Um, we're identifying all sound devices such as alliteration and onomatopoeia, etc. How does this impact the text, and what do you notice? I think I forgot to mention earlier, for number 4, it says identify all figurative language. So let's look at, does it stink? All right. So when you think of the word imagery, imagery is a figurative language device. And when we think of imagery, we're generally thinking of something that we look at. But there's also something called olfactory imagery, and that's spelled Olfactory. Olfactory, and it has to do with your senses. I mean, your sense of smell, right? So, for example, if somebody says, um, something smells like a garbage dump or it smells like garbage, you get a picture in your mind and you can smell the garbage smell, right? Or if somebody says, oh, I went to Cinnabon this weekend, you immediately get the smell of cinnamon buns and icing and all of that good stuff in your nose, and now you want one, right? So there's olfactory or um, imagery that has to do with your sense of smell. So this is an example of, I would write it right here, olfactory imagery. All right. So olfactory imagery is there. So we've got similes, we've got olfactory imagery, then we've got our metaphor. Okay, so moving on to all sound devices. Alliteration, we know alliteration is the repetition of certain sounds within words. For example, world's worst weather, that was on one of our everyday edits that we had. I think the one about the big wind. So it said that the mountain was the home of the world's worst weather, and we've got those W's. Those W's are repeating sounds, and so that would be alliteration. So we've got syrupy sweet. That is um, a form of alliteration. Anything else that I can see? Faster like a sore raisin in the sun, does it dry up? I believe that syrupy sweet is the only thing that we could consider um, sound devices, or which would be alliteration here. There's no onomatopoeia. Maybe the word explode. You could kind of argue that the word explode kind of sounds like an explosion if you say it like explode. Maybe Miss Hunter is reaching, but yeah. Oh, dream deferred. I'm sorry. So we got dream deferred. We've got those two D's right there. Dream deferred. Then we've got what did I say? Syrupy sweet. So there is our sound devices. There are our sound devices right there. And how does it impact the text? What do you notice? Um, Again, it gives it that, it packs a punch. It's not just telling us, oh, just giving us like regular, just it gives us a little bit more. It's not just giving us the regular wording like, oh, she sat on the stone or she sat on the rock. No, she sat like a queen on her new throne. um Her new throne being the rock, right? So that imagery kind of gives us a more vivid picture in our head. And Miss Hunter's stuttering a little bit, so y'all forgive me. But it just kind of, again, it adds a little more flavor, and it lets those images stick in our minds just a little bit more.